Hey there, beautiful joy seeker, and welcome back to the I Am Changing podcast. I'm your host, Kaz Humphreys, and I'm a change facilitator, and we're at episode 73. This one's called How to Rise After the Tough Times When Life Knocks You Down. There comes a moment in life, especially for menopausal women, where everything that you thought was stable isn't. Your relationship with yourself shifts as your body changes, and your biological evolution doesn't pause there. Your identity that you've invested a lifetime building, she no longer fits. Suddenly, you're not just navigating life, you're surviving it. The ebb and flow of declining estrogen often feels brutal during the initial phases. So, what do you do when life, aka hormonal fluctuation, knocks you down? Resilience isn't about bouncing back quickly and continuing the race on that mouse wheel. Resilience is about staying present long enough to rebuild who you are, becoming intentionally. And here's what most people or most women don't realize: Queen, honey, beauty, your ability to cope is not just emotional, it's physiological, especially for queen ages, the ladies moving through perimenopause and menopause, and the declining estrogen directly impacts the queen. Four things that impact our mood stability, which is, let me ask you, have you been fiery lately or snapping at those you love? The declining estrogen affects our stress tolerance. Has your patience recently taken a trip to Fiji? Declining estrogen will affect our sleep quality and generate poor or interrupted sleep, especially when we've got the hot sweats or the heart palpitations. And four, declining estrogen can affect our nervous system regulation. Are you feeling tired but wired lately? So, if you've been feeling less than resilient than what you're used to, it's not just in your head, sweetheart, it's in your biology. Resilience gets talked a lot about, but psychology and spirituality are pointing in two different directions, yet they're complementary and can give us a new way of understanding this shift that we're experiencing. Let me explain. In the field of psychology, resilience is typically referred as the capacity to adapt successfully to adversity, stress, or trauma. The capacity to adapt. It's not just about bouncing back. Modern research, especially within the positive psychology field, recognizes that having resilience as a dynamic process that you create over time. Resilience is not a fixed trait. Guess what? It's not something you're born with. This means that your resilience can change over time, is influenced by your biology, environment, and behaviors, both environmental and inherited, and involves both recovery and growth. So let's dig a little deeper. Before I throw you strategies to boost your resilience, let's identify the key psychology components that are impacted when your resilience shifts. Estrogen plays a massive, massive role physically, mentally, and emotionally, because as your estrogen levels begin to decline, the following areas are affected: your emotional regulation, your ability to experience stress without becoming overwhelmed, your cognitive flexibility, remaining mentally clear to reframe challenges rather than deep diving into them and getting stuck, your capacity for social connection, being able to emotionally build and maintain support systems to significantly buffer stress, and your biological capacity, maintaining a regulated nervous system, getting quality sleep, and balancing hormones all play a role. So, from a psychological lens, when your biology shifts and down regulates the estrogen, your baseline resilience capacity will also temporarily shift. Until those neurobiological programs have been rewritten, you're in a liminal space. And the change isn't permanent, but it does mean that your resilience will require more intentional support. So here's 5 strategies to rebuild your resilience after tough times. 1, allow yourself to feel, don't suppress or avoid. Hey, Queen, when was the last time you gifted yourself permission to simply feel what you're feeling and then let it go? Because when you hang on to emotional baggage, your body has to store it. And the reality is, if you can process your emotions, then you can release them and let them go. Tip number 2, regulate before you reflect. Before you rush into overanalyzing the tough moment in time, be sure to first regulate your nervous system. Because when we're stressed, our ability to neurologically see our reality is quite limited. It's like we're looking through stress goggles. This is because your brain is rapidly in search of a saber-toothed tiger or the threat, and you're in functional freeze. You're not going to see the bigger picture. But when you return to a parasympathetic state of rest and digest, you'll naturally have more clarity. You'll use different parts of your brain to process how the world is functioning. You will see all of the reality in front of you. Tip number 3, simplify life. I know that sounds ridiculously obvious, but your mirror neurons will mimic the energy of the space around you. Your resilience will grow in clean spaces that's not clogged or chaotic. So go around and do a bit of spring cleaning. Do one thing at a time, do it well, and then do the next. Tip number 4, rebuild self-trust. So often I work with clients and remind them of the importance of self-care. Do yourself a little favor and make a daily commitment to yourself. Keep those small promises to yourself on the daily and make sure it's super simple, like pausing when you feel the tough times hit you. Take a slow breath, regroup, start again. You can restart again over and over and over. And it's not like quitting or giving up. There's actual science to show that the more times you restart are contributing to changing the neural habit. So every time you restart, you reset, you're contributing to a bigger picture and the longer game of your resilience. Tip number 5, support your biology, beautiful. You can't imagine the power of a good night's sleep that lubricates all of your neural pathways with good hydration. Nourish your energy levels with a varied and nutritious diet. Utilize some somatic breath work to shake your sillies out. I'm talking about getting rid of your garbage thoughts. Your body will express gratitude for not having to hold on to big feelings. Nourishment of your gut and your nervous system should be a deal breaker and not negotiable. To wrap up this episode, Queen, you are not broken. Your perimenopause, menopause phase is that time of your life when you'll know that you're being rebuilt. You are clearing out your response to the tough times that you've encountered in life. So please remember this, that sometimes what feels like a breakdown is actually your becoming. Let's wrap up episode 73. There are always daily inspirational posts on my social media pages. There's a plethora of stuff there. Simply search for me in the links below or search for me on YouTube or the social pages using the hashtag ChangeChick. To grow my podcast audience, it helps me immensely if you can hit the follow button below. I'd be so grateful. Thanks also in advance for sharing this podcast with your own Change tribe. I hope it generates a fire of loving support and proactive discussion of how you, Queen, can take charge of your journey steps throughout life, regardless of what gets thrown your way. I'm your podcast host, Kaz Humphreys, aka The Change Chick, and the I Am Changing podcast is a reminder that we can all choose to change and bloom from within. Take care.